Guys, what is going on? It's been years since Marineford. In fact, 2 years. Now we return to Sabaody for this very epic review. I'm your boy, Grant Guy, and this is my other boy,
Jacob's Gaming Adventure. What's up, guys?
Guys, we're talking all things One Piece. Make sure to hit that little sub if you like One Piece. If you don't, then don't, okay?
Yeah, yep,
but
agreed.
Jacob, 2 years later, where we left off.
So, we are now at Sabaody Archipelago, and guys, the Straw Hat crew's back, but they look a little different, because it's the cursed, like, different Straw Hats, because it's been rumored they're coming back in 2 years.
Yep.
And now there's these imposters that are there. There's Fat Monkey D. Luffy, Crackhead Sanji, Wild Wizard Nami. It's like so much. Dude, and also I love when Chopper comes back.
Robin.
Dude, Chopper comes back. He's like, oh, they changed a lot.
Dude, I saw a TikTok where this guy was like, top 10 most stupid moments in One Piece. Number 5, Chopper not realizing that the fake Straw Hats were fake.
Dude, take a joke. It's funny.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, but so basically, the Straw Hats are slowly introduced back to Sabaody Archipelago because they're gonna meet up to head to Fishman Island. So we can just go through it all. I forgot how Luffy's introduced, so I think he's introduced to last.
Yeah, it's basically
Gets
Rayleigh
a
brings him
PX5s.
back in.
Yep.
Or no, Rayleigh's already there. Luffy's dropped off by Hancock. That's right.
Oh, yep, you're right.
Yep,
and he fights the PX5s, and who's leading the PX5s?
Who is
Sentamaru. I'm flexing my name's knowledge on you.
Dude,
the guy who's in charge of defense or whatever. But basically,
that's the big
guys,
fat guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but
basically, Luffy got bodied by the PX5s like 2 years ago.
Now he's like one shot.
Dude, he does this thing, and then like the waves like go past his head.
Dude, so
very
good,
cool,
so
very
good.
cool. And then Usopp shows up and then falls into Nami's breast, and he's like, "Oh, you blossomed." It's like, it's so cursed.
Geez.
And his nose is like a dick going up.
Yeah, it's like sliding up her.
That makes me
line.
like, I don't like it, dude.
Like,
I know I don't know.
Dude, I mean, just imagine it like you're a kid, you just watched Marineford, you're like, holy crap.
No, I loved it when I was a kid, but I hate it now.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. When I was 14, I'm like, yo, Nami.
Nami Big Bazongi.
But now I'm like, as an adult, I'm like, okay, I can appreciate fan service, but it detracts from like...
Yeah, it's like they're coming back for the first time, and the first thing you focus on is, look at her tits. Yeah, you like those, don't you? You dirty bitch.
And I guess it just kind of like makes it feel more like a generic anime, where versus like it's like respects women. All that. But whatever, that's just me ranting. Don't ignore me, guys. So anyway, and then Sanji, guys, get used to Sanji sucking for a while, because when he sees a girl, he will have a nosebleed on sight.
Because he hasn't seen a woman in a very long time. Direct quote from his time on what's the drag queen island called?
Kambaka Queendom.
So Sanji was on Kambaka Queendom. And his exact quote is he learns to basically step on air. And the quote is, I had to get away from those freaks.
And then he says, hell memories, and then his foot starts on fire.
Yeah.
From remembering that place.
Guys, can't wait to see that scene in live action.
So he shows up. Zoro shows up.
Yep.
Dude, it's so
well, Zoro's actually like the first one to show up. Because I remember the conversation of they're like, oh, I'm surprised you got here first. And he's like,
when is it revealed that Kuma has been looking after the ship? That's such a cool, interesting.
It was like right off the bat, because Zoro gets to because everyone kind of gets to the bar. A few of them do.
Yep.
Then Rayleigh tells Zoro that Kuma was guarding the ship for a while.
The Thousand Sunny has been sitting there for 2 years. And personally, I would have tried every opportunity to get on that ship, but Kuma cockblocked me. But like, it's interesting because like supposedly like Kuma is now fully robot, but like the last deal he made was like, I want to protect this ship. So it's just kind of interesting, like, oh, Kuma, what's up with you, man? You know? Obviously, he works for the revolutionaries and knows Luffy's dad. But
very cool little Kuma hint put into there. So
shows like
cool.
He's seeing the bigger picture that we don't, you know.
Yep.
And then can you keep cycling through the strides? I mean, like Frankie, how's he introduced? I totally forgot. Brooke, oh, he's doing a concert. That's kind of hype.
Basically everyone comes back via the people that they trained with. So Usopp's dropped off by the Beetle guy.
Yep.
Zoro's dropped off by the what was her name? Perona.
Perona. You're right.
Yep. Pretty much all of them. Nami's dropped off by the pedo wizards. And then Robin's dropped off by the Rebel Army.
Okay. I think Dragon literally could have seen his son. Oh my god. It's just like, bro.
I don't want to.
It is kind of funny how Robin's like, no one asked all the time for like where she went and stuff. It's like, she did meet Luffy's dad. Like, actually.
Exactly. And then Chopper rides in on the bird because 2 years ago, Chopper made a deal with the bird. It was like, when you grow up, you will fly me to this island.
Yeah, yep.
And they did that.
They did do that.
Everyone gets there, and we have some shenanigans. And like you said, they fight the anti-Kuma's, punished Kuma, if you will.
Punished Kuma. They fight the weird spin-off Straw Hats. And then, sadly, this character that keeps showing up ever since this point, Caribou, shows up.
Yeah.
I want to die. I hate that character so much.
He won't go away, dude.
He ate the muck fruit, so he can basically like absorb anything. Yeah. I freaking hate it. So dumb. I hate that guy. If I'm a hater, whatever. Rayleigh wraps up their ship, and they start heading down to Fishman Island.
They head down. They go down to Fishman Island, and as they're heading down, we get our first little treat.
Yes.
Of what was his name again?
Who? Riley?
The goo guy.
Oh, Caribou.
So Caribou shows up. Then we have the big fight, and of course, as they're fighting, Caribou he stays on the ship for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of hides in a barrel. Doesn't show up until he kidnaps a few mermaids. And then he tries to steal the treasure. Then he gets punched, and then he's not in it anymore.
Yeah.
Until later on, I suppose.
Dude, he plays doesn't he like steal treasure later in Fishman Island?
Yeah. It's because Neptune like awards them with a bunch of treasure, and then he ends up like stealing it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So all right, Fishman Island, guys. Here, let me try talking about as much as possible to get this over with.
This is a big one.
Okay, so Fishman Island isn't that popular. For rightly. Because like the villains are all walking elves. You get Hody Jones, this guy who's obsessed. He's an incel basically. Yeah, and he's obsessed with Shirahoshi. He has a cool devil fruit power where he can touch. He's touched her, and he's literally like, "I'm never washing this hand again."
Literally, Shirahoshi's like actually a child. She's like legitimately like 5 years old, and he's like, "I'm in love with her." And then his associates are like, "Whoa, no, that'll be weird if you ask her out." And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll wait a little bit."
And there's this whole implication. There's like this whole thing about Joy Boy, the return of the Noah arc. This is where like Oda starts setting up the prophecy. For later on. But yeah, Hody Jones. I'm saying Hody Jones.
Hordy, right?
Hody is a shark. Who's the weird hand guy?
Oh,
what's his name? Fisher Tiger. No. Oh god, I'm fan.
Dude, that'd be horrible.
The Fisher Tiger guy.
Yeah, the character was really good. I like his backstory, but the whole pedo thing was a little weird.
Oh man, I used to know that guy's name, but I just hate him so much. I forgot.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, Pink Floyd. Yeah, but so you got Pink Floyd over there with the hand ability, and then you got Hody Jones, who personally I think he's just an Arlong ripoff.
Yeah, it shows him like growing up with Arlong, and Arlong, played by Mr. Satan, is like, well, we need to kill all humans. And then I thought it was Hordy. Is it not Hordy?
That was Hody.
Hody. Okay, Hody.
It's probably Hordy.
Like, he was right, but he was a bitch.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm stronger.
Yep. And then, like, dude, there's a moment where Zoro and Hody are underwater together, and Zoro cuts Hody. I'm like, dude, Zoro could have just killed that guy.
There.
It's, I mean, the Straw Hats just got back from 2 years of training, so obviously they can't, like, they don't struggle at all killing these people.
No.
At all.
No. Like, even a bit of a spoiler, but we get revealed later on when Gear 4 is thrown out there. That he was like, oh yeah, I learned this during the 2 years of training. So it's like my boy was fighting Hody over here, and he was like,
dude, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, exactly.
They need it.
But okay, all right, I'm gonna fast track. Okay, so all right, they land at Fishman Island.
Yep.
Luffy gets stabbed by a poison thing. Sanji gets a nosebleed and reveals his location, like actually canonically, and it's annoying.
Yeah. And then Chopper runs around town going, please, he's actually going to die. And it's actually a very serious moment.
Yes. And then it turns out some trans people saved him, or drag queens.
And then he goes, those fucking freaks.
Yeah, and we're not exaggerating.
Yeah. That's not a joke. He actually gets pissed off.
Yeah. All right, and then Luffy somehow walks into Poseidon's castle, and then he's sliding around, and then he's realized he's in the cleavage of Shirahoshi. Dude, I freaking...
Wow, these mountains are crazy.
Yeah. And it turns out they're having an issue where I honestly forget what is threatening Poseidon, the kingdom. Is it just like Hody Jones?
Yeah, it's just his like gang over there. It's like,
okay,
those guys are fucking weird.
Yeah. So it turns out Hody Jones has this medicine that'll make him stronger, but also old at the same time. So they're gonna do a takeover, I believe. What's their plan? I forgot Hody's plan.
Well,
he hates humans.
Yeah, he's going to take over the kingdom because the kingdom plans on like reuniting with the world.
Yes.
But he wants to take it over so that way they can like kill the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically Fishman Island is literally a story about race and like, segregation and all that.
Yeah.
But I think the way Oda's executed it was kind of an L, and it could have been better.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Poseidon, I think that's the king, his wife dies later in a flashback, and she's like super based and all that. It's just done a little sloppily, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, if you're making Fishman like the minority, like you've also made them the bad guys in this one, like they were the ones who killed the queen.
Yep.
So it's like it's a little bit like
in retrospect, I think this arc really shines with the Fisher Tiger flashback.
Yes.
Because you get so much implication for like slaves like Boa Hancock. Arlong shows up again, and he's kind of has a big role to play.
Yeah.
And then you get like Koala. I can't pronounce her name.
Koala.
Yeah. Where like there's this girl who, and it really shows how evil the celestial dragons are. Where she's conditioned to always be smiling and never cry. It's like, what the frick? Dude?
Yeah, exactly.
It's really messed up. And yeah, Fisher Tiger is like goated with the sauce. He's cool.
Yeah, easily the best part of that whole entire arc.
Yeah.
Especially all the stuff with Arlong and all that. Just seeing like the struggle that they go through to like accept like the human or whatever. And that even like Jinbei is like really sussed out by it at first until like later on he's like, okay, it's fine.
Yep. Yeah, and then like skipping past all the fights, which we'll probably go back to real quick. But like Luffy eventually Luffy needs more blood, and Jinbei donates blood to Luffy, and it's a really nice moment. It's a nice moment.
Yeah.
To the fights, freaking Sanji fights this giant baby.
Well, yeah.
Well,
they don't even like fight it. He just kind of like stands on top and he goes, I bet you can't get bigger than that. And then he does, and then he keeps doing that for like 3 episodes until he like pops and does a Looney Tunes like.
Dude, yeah. I forgot about that.
Very cool Sanji fight.
Very cool. Freaking Luffy gets trapped in a shark, which we've seen. We've seen him get trapped in a snake between buildings. Yeah. I don't need to be like edged with him in the shark and there's saliva everywhere. It's freaking gross.
Yeah, right, yeah. Oh yeah, because he goes to Shirahoshi.
Yeah.
And she wants to go see the forest. So he's like, all right, we'll go in the shark's mouth.
And there's a poneglyph in the forest. Do you remember what that one is?
Yeah, well, that's the one that describes Joy Boy.
Okay. The return of Joy Boy and all that.
Yeah.
So Luffy fights Hody Jones, and then also that one freaking incel guy.
Yeah.
The incel guy fight is cool because Luffy just basically like punches the arc, and he has this throbbing vein in his forehead. Very dramatic. He does Red Hawk, so he imbues hockey with fire. Do we skip Luffy's flashback? I think we did.
Yeah.
He imbues his fist with fire, like Fire Fist Ace.
Yo,
very cool. Underwater as well.
Yeah, it's a really cool moment because like as he's punching he's like flashing back on his training a little bit.
Yep.
And then you see his hands are like bleeding because he's punching it so much.
Yeah.
They have to like pull him off, but they're like, it's done. Done.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool part.
And I want to give Luffy's flashback now, so I'm gonna keep speeding through this. So basically, it's all good and happy, and it turns out Fishman Island was under control of the Big Mom pirates, and now since Luffy kind of took over the place, Luffy's like, guys, raise my flag up, and then all the kids have these straw hats, and it's looking up for the straw hats, and there's a scene that like when I watched it at the time when like Big Mom is introduced, like she's like drooling or whatever. I think she eats people too.
Yep, dude. Oh my, that's a big
reveal. There's this dude who's like boing, and he like in Whole Cake Island, he's like just there for 1 second.
But yeah, because on this one at the very end, there's like a candy factory on Fishman Island, and she's like, "Oh, I want my candy, mama."
Yep.
And then they give it all to Luffy accidentally, and he eats it all.
And then Poseidon's like, "We put so much bombs in this one treasure chest with the medicine. So don't open that one. Whatever you do, that comes into play later."
Yeah, well, he doesn't even mention that to them. They're like, because like one of the guards was up to him, and he's like, "Hey, by the way, there's a lot of bombs in this box."
Dang, yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, well, we'll let that happen." It helps later.
It does help later. It does help later.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we didn't even like cover like Kami and the starfish guy. Frick the starfish guy.
Dude, literally, the starfish guy is there, and then he's like, "Check out my cool mansion."
Yeah, he's
his
like rich.
Mansion, like, he's like a big movie star, and then his mansion blows up. We literally never see him again until they say goodbye. Like, I see you.
I was picturing like off screen, he's like sadly like shifting to rubble, just like on his knees and hands.
They're like fighting over there in the corner.
But overall, Fishman Island is like a concerning start to the New World, but it's I give it personally a 3 out of 5. Because it's One Piece, I can't give it a negative score. Maybe a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I would give it a 2.5. It's just there's too many things that I had issues with just going into it.
Yeah,
it had really good moments. Like I love the Fisher Tiger stuff, and when he's punching the arc and all that. But yeah, like the villains and everything. It's just it's not a fun one to really go and sit through. It's kind of a frustrating start to it. But it picks up quite a bit after this.
For sure.
So, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Well,
so,
that's about it. Guys, are we too harsh on Fishman Island? Let us know and sub for more One Piece.
A positive to Fishman Island, the manga art is like god tier.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some of that when they like first see the palace or whatever.
Yeah. But also, on the other hand, it doesn't geography... like, when you see a scene, I don't know where they are. Like, I think the geography of Fishman Island... didn't make sense.
It's very confusing. You know, all the different bubbles and all that.
Yeah, bubbles, and you don't have a good picture in your head of like what's where. I don't know. This is a nitpick, but it's a real one.
Exactly. But that's about it, guys. Let us know what you thought. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah.
See ya.